MSTY, gotta keep it pushing.
MSTY, the baby, like still close to $2, $1.94.
$1.94. Like MicroStrategy is like hell of a company.
Hell
of a company.
And not only just like, the YieldMax fund, but like you said, like the company itself. I was just watching an interview, actually. I thought it was interesting for us to watch it and for the people that watch us to watch it. So we're going to put it on the screen real quick, and you guys can see what Michael Saylor was talking about.
It's a good company.
Who's the CEO
It's
of
a good
the company.
I mean, yo, you have to give it to Michael Saylor. Like, MicroStrategy is outperforming Bitcoin.
Since they made it I think they made it like their official asset and their reserve, right? But MicroStrategy did.
No, I mean MicroStrategy is built on Bitcoin, right?
Oh, yeah, they made it their treasury reserve asset in August 2020 when they officially adopted it as the primary.
Yeah, I mean,
from then to now, it's outperformed Bitcoin and S&P.
So essentially, for the people, like they started buying massive amounts of Bitcoins, and like that's like his main position.
Yeah, it's just proper terms.
I mean, that's what MicroStrategy is. It's Michael Saylor, like the #1 Bitcoin holder in the world, right? And he's just constantly
MicroStrategy as he's not, but
I mean, he's constantly leveraging, like Bitcoin and just constantly leveraging the company to buy more Bitcoin.
MicroStrategy's up 1,206% since August 2020. Bitcoin, if you would have invested in Bitcoin, you would only be up 442%. I say only. It's still a lot, but MicroStrategy would have made you more. And then, the S&P is 64% and NASDAQ 60%. So it's, they're going to do what they do. But just to be able to say, well, why wouldn't you just invest in Bitcoin? I mean, there's a solid reason right there why MicroStrategy would have made you more money.
I mean, listen, like you have to understand what this guy is really doing. He is constantly leveraging different debt and equity instruments to increase his Bitcoin holdings. So, like, this guy is like trading Bitcoin. They're buying Bitcoin. They're buying more Bitcoin. As it goes down, they buy even more Bitcoin. This guy is nonstop purchasing Bitcoin. Doesn't matter what you do, this guy is buying Bitcoin. And then now they're announcing a 10-to-1 stock split that takes in effect tomorrow.
Yes, that also takes effect in tomorrow.
And then now he's also talking about paying a yield on the MicroStrategy fund, like the MicroStrategy company. It's like, I mean, it's pretty outrageous. Like, like since when like companies, buy an underlying asset and then outperform the underlying asset?
That never happens.
Like
that'd be like YieldMax outperforming, like NVDY outperforming Nvidia.
I mean, like Amazon was doing it for a while, but it's like AMZY.
Yeah,
right?
Yep, that was.
But this is like
shout out SoCal Steve watching videos.
Yeah, like this is like kind of like a rare occurrence, and Michael Saylor is at the forefront of everything. This guy believes that Bitcoin is like the next best thing. He's outperforming the Bitcoin asset. He's outperforming the S&P 500. He's outperforming the NASDAQ. He's outperforming the Dow Jones. Like this guy's like like strictly killing it. Like this is literally the best stock in the world right now. Like it's like pretty out there.
I mean, and he owns, like 750 million of Bitcoin himself.
No,
so
I mean, honestly,
it's crazy. He owns billion of the stock, so he's like all the way in on MicroStrategy.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy becomes like a top 10 richest person in the world.
That video that
we watched, he's probably going to be one of the richest in like 20 years down the road. He's probably going to be one of the richest people on earth off of this Bitcoin strategy that he has going, and just buying Bitcoin and continue to leverage and increasing his holdings and just like this guy's all in on Bitcoin.
That video we
There's
seen
nobody
was
bigger
the low.
than this guy in on Bitcoin. There's nobody bigger than him.
Nope, you're right on that.
Like he's the biggest. Like he's literally the biggest
Maybe
guy.
other than the actual Satoshi, he might be bigger than him.
Yeah, but nobody know who. Like who the hell is that guy? Nobody knows him.
it.
Like if
it
like
could
if you
be
know
him
him,
for all we
nah, it's probably
Nah,
not. But
nah, you know,
I
I'm
mean,
playing.
like you have this guy. He's like, yo.
I mean, they own more than 1% of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is the biggest holder of it. He's basically at the Bitcoin conference. He was giving up base lines and then like the bear case and then the bull case. Like he was saying,
like he was given
for 2045.
Like he was given projections for 2045.
Yep.
And he was
The bear projection, sorry, and bull projection. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was given like
$3 million for the bear.
Yeah.
13 million for the base and 49 million. And what we just heard with the Louisiana purchase, like he is like comparing like how they paid at the time. It seemed like a lot, but as time went over, it was
no. I mean, he's
when,
letting you know about like compounding interest. Like
Yep.
he's letting you know how these different asset classes are compounding over time. Everyone knows it's like a rule of thumb in finance. Like, hey, the S&P 500, you buy the SPY, you let it sit, you get 10% a year. That's what it's been doing for like the past 90 years. You get like 10% a year. But now you have Bitcoin that's roughly giving you like 55% a year. And then you got this guy, like Michael Saylor, that's like, yo, dog, MicroStrategy's going crazy. Like this guy's getting you like 100, 200% a year on average.
it got clipped today, then it's probably going to continue to get
Like
clipped,
this
which
guy,
is why it's a great opportunity this next month, 2, 3 months.
I mean, this guy is he's explaining to you all the historical purchases throughout the world and like all the historical purchases in America. And if you notice, like he's talking about France selling Louisiana to the U.S. for $15 million.
Yep.
And now that's being valued at like $12 trillion.
Russia selling Alaska to the U.S. for $7.2 million after the Civil War.
Yep.
Now
and
they had $1 trillion of oil underneath it.
$1 trillion worth of oil. He's just trying to explain to you like the compounding factors of why he thinks Bitcoin by 2045, at worst case scenario, is going to be $3 million a coin. And then he's saying his base case scenario is going to be $13 million a coin. And then he's saying if Bitcoin has like the best scenario, best situation, best everything, he's telling you it's going to be $49 million.
$3 million is even crazy. That's like a
no. I mean,
that's
it's
a crazy
not
fold.
It's not crazy because
I'm just saying
Bitcoin
not crazy
is
to
like
get there.
Yeah. There's a finite amount of coins.
The percentage I'm saying increase is crazy.
Well, I mean, you have to look at crypto. Crypto, what we consider crypto is like it's like digital gold, right? AKA like a store of value. But in reality, it's performing like a risk asset. So like risk assets, if you don't know what risk assets are, they're a bit riskier. Like we consider risk assets like a lot of the companies in the NASDAQ. Like, you know what I mean? These companies are going up, down. They're very volatile. They're more volatile than some of the more stable household names, in the Dow or in the S&P 500. So, but at the end of the day, it's a finite amount. Everyone knows the U.S. dollar loses value every year. So does every currency in the world. So it's not just a U.S. dollar thing. Every currency loses value, right? Like,
true.
Like your parents are probably paying 50 cents to 75 cents for a gallon of milk. We're paying $5, $6, $7 for a gallon of milk now. When your kids grow up, they're not going to be paying $5, $6, $7 for a gallon of milk. They're probably going to be paying $20, $30, $40 for a gallon of milk. That's just what it is, right? Real estate goes up every year. The S&P 500 goes up every year. There's just
keeping cash in your bank is not going to do it.
Life gets more expensive every year. So
the dollar decreases, and it gets more expensive.
So I mean, he's just pretty much letting you know, like, look, Bitcoin is here to stay. I'm all in on it. I don't care what anyone's doing. We have the best performing stock in the country, in the world right now. We're outperforming the best asset in the world because technically Bitcoin is doing better than almost every company you can think of on the yearly basis for like God knows how many years already. And MicroStrategy is like piggybacking them and then leveraging up as it goes up and then leveraging more of their money in as it goes down. Like these guys are just hitting on all cylinders.
And even that stat that we said about it going more like, why would, like, you know, if someone was out there like, well, maybe that's what it did, but it's not the future, or why wouldn't I just invest in like a Bitcoin ETF? There was this guy, Bill Miller,
Bitcoin
on
ETFs are garbage. You
There's
can look at every Bitcoin ETF. You can look at every Ethereum ETF. I looked at all of them. So you're not going to tell me I'm wrong. I looked at all of them. They all are underperforming the actual assets.
And even in the future, there's no fees with MicroStrategy.
No,
like,
but
it's like,
I mean, more of the story.
Even it's still going to go
like
more,
the
but yeah,
ETFs,
little things.
I mean, the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs, the Ethereum ETFs are all underperforming the actual tokens. So if you're thinking about buying Bitcoin or you're thinking about buying Ethereum, you're better off just buying the token, buying the coin, buying the actual Bitcoin, buying the actual Ethereum than buying any of these ETFs. The ETFs are all garbage.